Hi, I'm Mark from eReplacementParts.com. In this video, I'm going to show you how to winterize your pressure washer. Winterizing your pressure washer consists of adding antifreeze to the pressure washer pump, taking care of the fuel system on the engine, and protecting the cylinder from rust caused by humidity. We'll add antifreeze to the pressure washer pump to protect it from freeze damage over the winter. If water is left in the pump and it's allowed to freeze, it can actually split the castings on the pump. Also, the antifreeze will protect the O-rings and seals inside the pump from drying out. We'll need to protect our pressure washer from the corrosive nature of gasoline. Current gasolines have ethanol in them. The ethanol will attract water, which forms an acid, and that'll corrode inside the carburetor as well as break down the fuel lines. The last thing we need to take a look at on our pressure washer is the engine cylinder. The cylinder will need to be protected from rust. This rust can be caused by humidity in the air, as well as condensation from the pressure washer heating up and cooling down, say when it's left out in a shed or a garage. We'll show you how to do all that in this video. We'll get started by adding some antifreeze to the pump on our pressure washer. Like I mentioned before, if water is left inside the pressure washer pump and that water freezes, it'll actually build up enough pressure to split out or blow out the castings on the pump. You have a couple of choices when it comes to which antifreeze to use in your pressure washer pump. One choice would be RV antifreeze. If using RV antifreeze, you'll want to rig up a hose that you can attach to the inlet on your pressure washer pump. On the other end of the hose, attach a funnel, and then you can just pour the RV antifreeze into the funnel and cycle the engine a couple of times to pump the antifreeze through the pump. Another antifreeze choice you have for your pump, and this one is much easier to use, is Pump Saver. This product allows you to attach the can to the pump and pump the antifreeze directly into your pressure washer pump. The Pump Saver comes with a hose that has a threaded end on it. I attach that end onto the inlet side of the pump. Then I lift the cap on the can of Pump Saver and place a container over the outlet side of the pump. Now when I press the button on top of the Pump Saver, it'll pump the antifreeze through the pump and the excess will come out the top into this container. That'll take care of the pump on our pressure washer. Now we can move to the fuel system on our pressure washer's engine. Here again you have a couple of choices. One choice is to remove all the fuel from the gas tank as well as the carburetor. Or you can use a fuel stabilizing product and protect them that way. If you decide to go with fuel stabilizer, it's just a matter of mixing the stabilizer into your fuel according to the manufacturer's instructions. Then you add that fuel mixture into your gas tank. Then run the pressure washer so that the fuel stabilizer mixture can go into your carburetor. Fuel stabilizer will usually buy you about 6 months of protection. To drain the fuel from the tank, I need a pair of fuel line clamps, a container to drain the fuel into, and a pair of pliers to loosen the clamp on the fuel line. I'll get started by clamping off the fuel line. Now release the fuel line clamp and slide it down the fuel line. Now I can pull the fuel line away from the carburetor, or in this case, the fuel pump. And I'll drain the fuel into my container. And remember to properly dispose of any leftover gas or oil. And now I'll just reattach the hose. Next, you need to remove any fuel that's left in the carburetor bowl. Different carburetors are set up to do this differently. Some carburetors you'll need to actually remove the bowl and dump the gasoline out of it. On a carburetor like mine, there's actually a drain screw that I can open, and that'll drain the fuel out through this tube. On my pressure washer, the screw is located on the front of the carb. I'll turn that screw with a screwdriver, and that'll open the valve that'll allow the fuel to drain out. So I'll open the screw and the fuel will come out of the carburetor bowl. and then I'll just close the screw back up. That'll take care of the fuel system. Now we can move on to the cylinder. We want to protect the cylinder from rust, and to do that we're going to add some oil to the cylinder through the spark plug hole. I'll get started by removing the spark plug. This is just a 30-weight motor oil, and I'll pour a small amount directly into the cylinder. That'll do. Now I'll just use the starter to crank the engine over a couple of times so that the oil coats the cylinder completely. And then I can replace the spark plug. And that's all it takes to protect your pressure washer for the winter season. If you found this video helpful, please feel free to leave a comment or ask us a question.